Hello, everybody. Good day in Ukraine. Good day to everybody who's listening. Here in the United States, we have on our stream Cohen. Kevin.
Привет всем. Hello,
Dzień dobry.
everyone.
Yeah, my Ukrainian is kind of not serviceable enough, but I can understand certain things. So I asked Kevin to use more Ukrainian words and don't hold yourself, my friend, in using every language.
Жужик російськомовний, він з Запоріжжі,
Ага.
і йому зручніше розмовляти російською. Я, на жаль, ще не розмовляю російською після війни. Після війни буду. Я не можу вивчати і українську, і російську, але після війни. Але він вивчає разом зі мною. Чи не так?
Zuzek understands Russian because he's from the part
Absolutely.
mostly Russian speaking. That's why. That's
like
why,
many of my
he's here.
побратими, багато моїх побратимів російськомовні. Вони захищають Україну.
Kevin. You're fantastic. Listen, is it true? How many languages do you speak?
I speak English and French.
But now you just spoke. You spoke Ukrainian, right?
Poorly. Here's what they say. I speak Ukrainian well for an American. Okay. I understand.
No, it was very informal and everything was in place. All the idioms and etc. Whatever things that I can determine as also an interpreter, which is but I only know Russian and poorly know English, so that's how
Listen to you.
Yeah. No, it's really, I discover always shortcomings, in every conversation. I come with a list, sometimes mentally, but sometimes literally, what I have to look up and brush up in what department. But anyway.
I recently learned how to pronounce an English word that I did not know how to pronounce. It's written English. It's not said very often. Internecine. I always thought it was internecine.
Internecine, yeah.
But it's not. It's internecine. Internecine. Yeah.
Yeah. So what does it mean in Ukrainian? Is there a word in Ukrainian for this?
Oh, man. Oh, this I don't know. Я можу поговорити про зброю та про тактичну медицину. Це більш-менш
Internecine meaning internal,
like within a group. It's like kind of like brother against brother.
It's mostly about the hostilities between brothers.
Yes, hostilities within a group. It's bad. It's like internecine conflicts, for example, would be a
sort of
good.
It means inside the walls, literally, right?
Something like that. It's a good словополучення. A good collocation would be internecine battles, internecine wars, fights. It's bad.
Right, because inter should be accentuated here. But enough about sophistication in language. Let's talk about sophistication in actions. What's happening with the drones? This drone that fell near the Putin's palace in Crimea, as I reported this morning from the information in Daily Mail, could have been something that got hit on the way to Putin's palace. It's just where it landed was the beach, and
it's possible. Died. It's certainly possible. The biggest difference between Ukraine and Russia is that Ukraine uses long-distance drones to strike military targets. And if Ukraine hits a civilian, it's an accident. Russia uses drones to hit civilian targets. We live this in Kyiv. It seems to me if they hit a military target, it's an accident. As I've said before, this is terrorism. On a military perspective, it makes no sense. From a terrorist perspective, That's how you understand how Russia picks targets.
And as much as the Russian propaganda uses the sophistication and subterfuge and psychological warfare on the Western audiences and Russian audiences and Ukrainian audiences, uh, they still tread in the ways of
Absolutely.
old Soviets. Whereas Ukraine understands very clearly that if they hit a drone, it hits the beach where people, whatever you may think of them, trying to have to catch some summer uh, sunbeam onto the skin, and the drone hits them, it's a huge card they would be handing to Russian propaganda because all these shots we're going to see tomorrow and for the rest of our lives from that beach. And of course, it does not return people back, whatever we think of it. But those things happen, and they created things that Americans do not understand. They think that there's still a draft in Russia, whereas people who fight, they're all volunteers, and by Russian people are ready to give their lives for a car, which is not the best car in the world, to put it mildly, and the apartment, which is not by the beach or on top of a mountain or in the forest. It's a regular apartment, pretty modest, let's call it, right? But they cannot make a living to buy those things if they don't go and try to die, honestly, to provide for the families.
This is one of the many. This is one of the many reasons that I hate the Russian army. To kill for money, to me, is the most disgusting thing in the world.
Yeah.
I cannot understand doing it. Killing is difficult. Dying is easy. Everyone dies. To kill is horrible. They will do it for money.
This is like the part that they had to go through major brainwashing in Russia to risk. I mean, they were, as much as I know, the way of people think in the former Soviet Union, they need a good and noble, like everywhere. People need a good and noble reason to buy a new car, to buy a new house. I want to have a bigger family, but I'm going to make my life better. Some other reason, except I just want it. I just can't do it. They present things to feel better. In
that's no reason to kill. It's not an excuse. No reason
they
to
had
kill.
to go through brainwashing that we witnessed from the many years of Putin propaganda when they were running the whole huge budget operation versus Ukraine. Whatever you may think of a country, it's a country. It means it's different. It has their own borders. It has their own way of life and their own plans for the future. That's basically, it's unforgivable for Putin not to include him in Ukrainian dreams.
And I will add, it is a democracy. People have a voice here. My friend Mikhail, here in Kyiv, he said something very interesting to me. As you know, there have been protests recently about the firing of the Minister of Defense. In the United States, we would say Secretary of Defense.
Secretary of War nowadays.
Right. There is some history there, but it's off topic.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm happy to talk about it, but it's off topic. So recently, the price of public transportation was raised here. Many people use something I have difficulty saying, marshrutka.
Mm-hmm.
It
rolls off my tongue still after 30 years in the United States. Marshrutka.
4 years I have been studying Ukrainian, and I still can't say. I have to take a deep breath. Marshrutka.
It's like 4 or 5 consonants.
It's too many.
It's almost
the
Georgian.
price. The price was 8 hryvnia. That is 20 cents, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
The price was recently increased to 30 hryvnia. Okay. If you ride a marshrutka, the difference between 8 hryvnia and 30 hryvnia is a lot of money. People did not complain about this. They did not demonstrate about money, about something they believe in deeply. They will go and demonstrate. I think it gives some interesting insight into what people value. And I will say, this is a very capitalist country. I would describe Ukraine as cheerfully capitalist. It's very nice to see.
Yeah.
But people would not go and demonstrate about the increase in prices. They would go demonstrate about something important to the country. The prices affect people individually. What happens to the country is more abstract. But they would go protest about that. And they can. This is a country where you can protest. What would happen if Putin fired if Putin fired someone popular and people protested in the streets? What would happen?
Putin would protest with gas and rubber sticks, at least.
It would be bad. And that's not the situation here. People want to protest, you can protest. There's freedom of speech here. There's freedom of assembly. There's freedom of association.
This is a capitalism. Yeah. Okay, good.
No, capitalism and democracy are two different things. We have both here.
Democracy, and the missing component is a republic.
I would love to talk political philosophy with you over a glass of kvass. My two favorite Ukrainian foods, zhushchenka, and kvass.
You got to live in Brooklyn, though.
Oh, I can't wait.
That's where
I already have my places to go visit with you.
Listen, I would replace the word capitalist with the word freedomist, because capitalism is freedom. And people are conditioned to think that freedom is something from a fairy tale, from a Disneyland, something like that. Freedom is a hard thing to handle. Freedom is a hard thing to master. Freedom is a hard thing to use. But once you know how to use it, once you get a taste, you cannot get off of it.
No. Once you have had it, you cannot give it up.
Listen, you wanted to talk about this little ad that you sent to me, and here's a screen grab. Let's take a look.
Yes.
Tell us what's going on here.
So, as you know, the shelters are used very heavily, and metro stations are used very heavily as shelters. Some nights, there might be 50,000 people in the metro stations of Kyiv. And what we see here is a new product. It is a backpack for carrying a sleeping mat. So I have my typical army sleeping mat here. I sleep on it. Zhuzhik sleeps on my head, and it's fine. And I keep it by my bed so that because my bed is next to a window and I don't want to be killed by the glass. So if there are explosions nearby, I leave my bed. I sleep under the bed for protection. So the one difference that this young lady has here is she has a nice backpack to carry her bedroll on. I have to tie mine to the outside of my assault pack.
Yeah, your one is yours is rolling up. This one kind of made a panel
Yes,
that can
so they're
extend. So it's neater and more
rollable ones.
compact. Same
Yes,
time on the rolling and rolling.
there are
Unrolling.
folding ones.
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning of the war, there were only these, so that's what I still have. And I looked at this ad, and it made me think. It made me smile, actually, and also frown. It made me smile for two reasons. The first reason is that this is such a cheerfully capitalist country. Capitalism, as you know, grows through markets. And this country has a new market, tactical gear. And an even newer market, tactical gear for civilians. As an American capitalist, this makes me smile. This is how capitalism works. It makes me frown because this shows you the world that Putin has created here. And people here are not stupid. They know if a guy, they know it will get worse if Ukraine surrenders. Think about it this way. If a guy is punching you and you are fighting back, what happens if you stop fighting back? He punches you more. People know to expect that from Putin. And that bag makes me smile because it says to me, people here are tough. If you make them sleep in the subway stations, they're not going to surrender. They're going to make new backpacks to carry their sleeping mat. I love that. This is a great place.
The only thing that bothers me in this ad is why the girl has her eyes closed. It's not the way to be in this situation. That's I don't know. Is she sleeping standing up or what?
Here's what I think.
Or is this how good girls supposed to behave?
This is a commodity. Yeah. That is a commodity. It doesn't matter who makes it. So if you have a commodity, you cannot advertise things like the percentage of polystyrene in your mattress. Your advertisements have to say, this is the kind of person you will be if you buy my sleeping mattress or my ketchup, my toothpaste. Doesn't matter what ketchup you buy. Doesn't matter what toothpaste you buy. That's why toothpaste ads and ketchup ads don't talk about baking soda or fluoride or percentage of fresh vegetables. They have pictures of smiling, attractive young people or happy children. So when I look at this advertisement, I see someone, the message to me is, if you buy my mattress, my sleeping pad backpack, you will be at peace. You will be calm. Yeah. The Russians might be bombing your neighborhood, but you will be calm if you buy my mattress.
That's the perversion of war. War advertising in the wartime is something that kind of drives people's minds. Or frail sometimes, but that's how if it saves more lives this way, if more people feel comfortable this way, so more the
I will tell you, I know many people, especially families with children, and they have a bag to carry their things to go to the shelter. So you have some water, you have some snacks for the children, some games to entertain them, a notebook for yourself, maybe. This fits into that. I have a friend who has been sleeping in her car, in her garage, during air raids for 4 years. You cannot bring your car into a metro station. This will make some people more comfortable.
Kevin, what we see here is that the land war is kind of stalling still, right? What's happening on land in terms of Russian-Ukrainian war?
In recent months, this has been kind of match null, tie game.
Mm-hmm.
Russia pushes forward in some places, Russia falls back in some places.
Mm-hmm.
This is normal. This is normal for any war. In the movies, you see guys who will fight and die for this much land. That's not real.
Mm-hmm.
Forces go back and forth over a given position. My perspective on this, the Russians have a much bigger army. They have much more resources. And yet, they have been tie game for a long time. This month, for the first time in a while, Russia took a little bit more than we took back. And that was news. If a huge country is in the news because they took a little bit of land, that shows you, to me, that says we're doing very well. The news is what is new and unexpected. 4 years.
Yeah.
And it's news that for once they took more than we took back. And there's a question that you can ask, which is, why is Putin bombarding Ukrainian cities with ballistic missiles and cruise missiles? Those are very expensive weapons, and they are very deadly weapons. Why does he not use those on the battlefield? I see two reasons for this. One, he fights a terrorist war. Terrorists win by killing civilians. The second reason is, I think even he can see he will not win this war on the battlefield. So what's left? He attacks the cities and hopes that terrorism will work to change how people think about the war.
Yeah, that's. Do you think which foreseeable goal could Ukrainian drone achieve with the deep strikes that we see in recent days, Wildberries, etc.? Russia
It's a great question, and they are a great thing. So, for context, the way to win a war is not by killing people, it's by killing logistics. It's by killing behind the front line. Ammunition, fuel, airplanes on the ground. The biggest problem that we have had in this war is that our allies have very generously given us long-range missiles that we did not have in the past. But they have not allowed us to use them to strike behind the lines in Russia. So Russia has been able to do things like they still do, as I have experienced many times. They fly a plane over Russia and use it to launch what's called a CAB,
Aviabomba,
я думаю. So if we cannot hit them over Russian territory, they launch those bombs, and they are very powerful. I will tell you, for me, It's the most powerful thing I have experienced in my life. Drones have allowed Ukraine to do what we cannot do with a foreign long-range missile. They allow us to hit behind the enemy lines, to hit fuel production, to hit their logistics centers, to hit their airplanes on the ground. This is the way that you win a war, and it's a very efficient way. Even an expensive drone costs only a fraction of what a medium-range missile costs.
Yeah, and
I have to say one more thing about medium-range, long-range drones. So I recently joined an air defense unit. I was a Vyskovy paramedic for 4 years. And recently I became a navidnik, a gunner in an anti-air defense unit. So many of your listeners, the old guys like me, will know my machine gun, the Dashka M. So on duty, I sit behind my machine gun. In front of me is the sector that I can fire at. Behind me is what I am protecting. It is apartment buildings. So think about this. Ukraine uses these weapons, medium and long-range drones, to hit fuel production facilities, to hit missile production factories, to hit logistics hubs. I have to be where I am to protect apartment buildings, because night after night, if those drones get by guys like me, they hit an apartment building.
Kevin,
if a guy hits apartment buildings over and over for weeks and months and years, you should infer he is trying to hit apartment buildings. That's the enemy that we have.
Let me ask you, those long-range drones, do they use the fiber optics technology?
No.
Or because it's impossible, right, to have
Correct. So long-range and medium-range drones have different kinds of guidance systems. My unit primarily defends against Geran drones. They typically use something, it's similar to GPS, but the Russian equivalent of that.
GLONASS, whatever, yeah.
Yes. So if you look at a Shahed Geran drone, you will see on the right side wing circles like this. That is their guidance system. Fiber optic drones are great at a short distance. The great thing about them is that they can work longer because they have the fiber optic communication, so they can sit on the ground and wait. This is frightening when you are in a vehicle at the front, because they can sit there until you come by, and if 2-3 drones suddenly jump out, that's the end for Kevin. It's hard to protect against. But those are
mines that can fly after you, right? It's
sorry.
It's a mine that could
yes.
fly.
It's a mine that can watch for you and attack.
Follow you, right?
So it is very hot here. Many lakes are dry, waters levels are low, but winter is coming. So
Kevin, what's
currently,
behind you, by the way?
yes,
Tell me.
I am preparing for winter now. So what you see here is
как вы знаете, друзья, мы помогаем Кевину, и для того, чтобы получить от него наиболее полную информацию, мы говорим по-английски, но он добавляет и русский, много украинского языка. Он выучил эти, он знает достаточно хорошо, чтобы общаться, и сейчас он нам рассказывает, на что тратятся те средства, которые мы собираем на нашей программе, и пока, к сожалению, не видно конца этой нашей операции здесь по сбору средств для того, чтобы помочь украинским раненым бойцам и раненым гражданским.
Це набір проти hypothermia. This is a hypothermia prevention and management kit. You sent this to me. I was very happy to receive this box. Good timing. It says, I have written on it, these come from North American Rescue, the gold standard for building emergency medical supplies. They give us a wonderful discount. I wish I could thank them 1,000 times. And I write on them, від ваших друзів, from your friends, and Ukrainian Humanitarian Resistance, the name of our Blahodiny Fund, because when a Viskovi paramedic grabs this, I want him to remember that we remember him, that the world has not forgotten what happens here. Hypothermia is, it is a killer. I have had...
Переохлаждение убивает людей.
Так, hypothermia – це шкідливі для життя.
Опасно для жизни.
Це смертливо. It is fatal.
Смертельно.
I have had 2 casualties. У мене були два поранених.
Было 2 смертельных случая у раненых.
I think if I could not have warmed them, they would have died. One of them, I know he would have died if I could not have warmed him.
Было 2 таких ранения, которые удалось избежать смерти, потому что своевременно получилось обеспечить им тепло в холодное время года.
А у мене був набір проти гіпотермію, і це одна українська матір, яка не буде плакати.
И каждый набор против переохлаждения бойца, использованный в нужное время, это еще одна украинская мать, которая не будет плакать. Понимаю.
Yeah. So behind me, you see 7 boxes of clothing for a stabilization point.
7 комплектов коробок одежды по стабилизации раненых.
The stabilization point is the first place, like a medical facility, that you will see after you are injured.
Точка стабилизации, пункт стабилизации больного – это то место, в котором вы оказываетесь, самая ваша первая остановка, после того, как вас вынесли с поля боя после ранения.
І коли хлопець прийде до нас, він мокрий, він брудний. Oh my God, when the casualties come to us, they are so wet, they are so dirty. And we have to take their clothes off.
Мы должны раздеть тех людей, которые приносят нам в этот момент, когда они оказываются в точке оказания, первом пункте оказания помощи. Они мокрые насквозь, они грязные, и первое дело, что нужно сделать, это снять с них эту одежду, в которой они были ранены.
І дуже часто ми форму розріжаємо. Often we cut your uniform off of you.
Мы должны разрезать их форму в большинстве случаев.
to take you to the next step, we have to keep you warm.
Для того, чтобы
That
довести
is
вас
why
до
I supply
следующего шага,
clothes.
мы должны вам обеспечить тепло. И это тот момент, когда помогают нам эти наборы для предотвращающие переохлаждение, гипотермия.
Для мене найважливо це вов'яні шкарпетки. To me personally, для мене особливо. For me personally, the most important is socks, wool socks.
Для меня очень важны носки в данном случае, в этой ситуации, шерстяные вязаные носки.
Раніше у війні я працював в автошпиталі. Early in the war, I worked in a mobile intensive care unit.
А в начале войны я работал в подразделении мобильных реанимационных отделений.
Саме так. І іноді у нас є хлопець, у нього залишається тільки одна нога.
Есть иногда парень, у которого осталась только одна нога. Say it in English. Yeah.
Often a guy has had an amputation and he only has one foot.
I translated it already from Ukraine.
Okay. Якщо нозі холодно, це розриває серце. If his one foot is cold, rips my heart out.
И когда ему холодно, его единственная оставшаяся нога мерзнет, это разрывает мне сердце.
So every year I distribute hundreds of wool socks.
И что каждый год я распределяю сотни этих шерстяных носок.
І ви бачите, то, що тут написано, від ваших друзів в США для українського солдата.
Видите, что здесь написано от ваших друзей в США вот для украинских солдат.
I want to say something about your listeners.
Я хочу сказать кое-что по поводу вас, дорогие друзья, наши слушатели.
I used to write this by hand.
Я раньше писал это от руки.
Your listeners are so generous that I distribute so much aid now that it hurts my hands to write it all.
Ваша щедрость довела меня до того, что у меня начала болеть рука от надписывания этикеток о том, что это подарок из Соединенных Штатов.
Тому дали зараз друковані етикети.
Теперь это напечатанные этикетки.
Бо я зараз не встигаю ручками. I can't do it by hand.
Не успевает от руки подписывать. Спасибо вам огромное, друзья. Мы проводим удивительно интенсивную и эффективную операцию здесь уже который год. Не по хорошему поводу. И мы поддерживаем целый ряд вещей здесь, и в Соединенных Штатах, и в Израиле, и в Украине. Мы стараемся не оставлять тех без помощи, кто ищет нашей помощи. Мы не знаем всех, мы не можем помочь всем. Но те, кто к нам обращается, так или иначе получают. И в ближайшее время мы начнем. Very soon I got email from a text message from Israel. There is a group of youngest soldiers who got recruited recently. And they are all, I love stereotypes. And they are all those Jewish musicians, not all of them, but many of them in the family. There are those talented Jewish violinists who, after October 7, just stopped doing what they were doing. And they went to learn the war. And they're about to be sent to Gaza. For the continuation of his plant there, and they are like last in line. So they just there's not enough good equipment for them. So we'll try to raise some funds. Now it's they got some money recently, but they only need to raise about $12,000 to get what they plan, to get their vests with a proper level of protection, level 4, they say is the safer one that they're getting, and hopefully the helmets. So far, that's the ambition that we have.
I will tell you, I work with a volunteer from the United States.
Mm-hmm.
He brings huge amounts of supplies, especially tactical gear.
Mm-hmm.
And after October 7th, I didn't see him in Ukraine so often. Why? Because he was going to Israel.
Second front.
Yes, he is an American. He was an Israeli paratrooper in the American army. And now he goes to Israel, Ukraine, Israel, Ukraine, Israel, Ukraine. And you talk about these violinists. When I was a children, when I was a child, there's a song that we used to sing. I'll say it in Ashkenazi. Lo yisa goy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu oid milchama. Nation will not lift up a sword against nation. We will not study war anymore. We could have that world. That world could exist. You, me, we could have been the first generation to see peace in Europe since my great-grandfather. Yeah? Who stops this? Putin stopped it. He stopped it with his allies in Iran. They work together.
Yeah.
Iran supports Russia, Mushahedi.
Of course. And Geran as well. It's like the
Geran, it's
the
a
Russian version.
And who told Hezbollah, sorry, not Hezbollah, who told Hamas to do what they did on October 7th? Who benefited?
Yeah.
The Palestinians did not benefit. Israel did not benefit. Hamas did not benefit. Russia benefited. As far as I can see, only Russia benefited. And if your
Кто
question...
выиграл из-за того, что произошло 7 октября? Все проиграли, кроме России, говорит Кевин Коэн. Я вижу их как единственных бенефициаров, такое слово теперь знают в России тоже.
If you understand things by asking who benefited from Hamas and the horrors of what they did on October 7th, only Russia, as far as I can see.
Yeah. Even Iran didn't gain much.
We want lo yisa goy el goy cherev, lo yilmedu od milchama. We want a world where people don't fight with swords, where our children don't have to study war. We could have had one. Peace in Europe for decades.
Listen, what's going on right now? We're stepping away from the Ukrainian topic, but it's all interrelated. People should understand.
It is.
It's all interrelated.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
you see, they offer, one of the most recent offers to Iran was just to become, just all the countries would raise up their moral kind of even self-respect and learn to live together. What kind of life to live as a sheikh or a sultan or a ruler of Saudi Arabia, when you know that the smallest country in the region is the only country that is visible from space because it's green, and the rest is gray and yellow. That's sand. Yeah. And one country lives there that is a proof that something wrong with the neighbors. The neighborhood is kind of dead. Take out dollars, take out U.S. support, take out U.S. weapons, and there's nothing there.
You put it very well.
This country.
You put it very well. I will. I always talk about my friend Mikhail. He's here, and he teaches me things I did not know about history. And he taught me about Stalin's role in creating the PLO, Palestinian Liberation Organization, an old terrorist organization.
1964, yes.
And about fascinating to me that Stalin specifically, how do you say the past tense of forbade, that Stalin would not allow transfer of, I believe, Czech planes to Israel. He stopped it. It's difficult to separate. We know most things in life are complicated. Politics is very complicated. Things are related.
The ancient Romans, they found a way to define it most aptly. It's cui bono, cui prodis.
Exactly.
That's who benefits. Who's feeling good now? Who's feeling better now as a result? Israelis don't, Hamas don't, Palestinians don't. Whatever they yell in the streets, the Gaza is no more as a place for a livable space. At this point, they cannot restore it with their own resources, which they never had. Iran cannot help them. If they wanted to help them, now Iran would need help after what's going on there, and that's how it is today. So we got to be prepared. We got to be strong. And I grew up with the the same word in English, a file, and a hammer, and we had the shop, like serious shop. We got hurt. We cut our fingers. We got our bumps in the head. Friend missing the nail and hit you in the head with a hammer all of a sudden. So all those things we went through, and recently kids are not as involved in this kind of like training with tools, and everything is sharp, where everything is dangerous, everything is poisonous, don't touch this, don't go there. That obviously takes place, if not in real places in the Midwest or upstate New York, but in the psyche. And a lot of people are talking about, it's hurt American soul, American spirit got damaged. Forget it. Just put Dr. Fauci on the bench and ask the proper questions and show some horizon. People who did unthinkable things in this country.
I'll tell you what a strong person is. I try not to think what would happen in America if we were attacked in the way that Kyiv is attacked, Zaporizhia is attacked, Kharkiv is attacked, Dnipro is attacked, Zaporizhia is attacked. Ukraine wants to be America, and I love that about this country. America should want to be Ukraine a little bit too. What we should be is that girl in the metro with her nice backpack to carry her sleeping roll, because she's not worried about getting triggered. She's not worried about having her feelings hurt.
Definitely not with the poster "Free Palestine." That's
I will tell you, you won't see Free Palestine posters in Ukraine. No,
people have better things to do. Only where people have no better things to do than
you will not see that here. Yura, I would like to tell you, one of the reasons that I love to talk to your audience. So many of your audience is people living in the United States, yes?
Yes, over half of.
And many living not in the United States. Yeah. Your audience in the United States understands, how would I say this, has some sophistication that most Americans don't. Не можешь перекласти, будь ласка.
So why аудитория имеет более глубокий, более широкий, я бы сказал, переводя слово sophistication, что скорее утонченный, изощренный, углубленный. Но мы действительно знаем, мы просто жили по обе стороны забора. We lived on both sides of the fence.
So here is the thing. In America, for a long time, we have had two political parties.
У нас долгое время было две политические партии в Америке.
So, and Americans think they are opposites.
Американцы думают, что они противоположны друг другу.
They're not opposites. Your listeners understand multi-party government. And they know...
Вы понимаете систему многопартийного правительства. Я надеюсь, что вы понимаете.
Your listeners understand here and here that there are many combinations of political philosophy, of economic philosophy, many.
Есть комбинации различных экономических и политических философий.
It's not as simple as most Americans think. Two opposites. No. It's more complicated than that. And your listeners understand that. I love that.
We're still discussing all this. And, you know, the more I think, the more I learn about the history of political and religious thought even. I understand that the Manichaean thinking didn't go anywhere. And Manichaean meaning after Mani, who was trying to model Christianity, but in the two sides, black and white, two opposites. And this is, in this world, it's do or die. It's dual. Everything is either grow or die, as they say in New York, or it's basically, yes, it's two parties. And both of them, unfortunately, at the core, are not so feeling not too well as of right now. Neither Democrats nor Republicans.
I think that's true. I think that's true.
There's only, it used to be a situation, I spoke with somebody, I said, it's not even a situation of 80-20, you know, when 20% of the electorate decide where the country is going to. It's like the issue of 300 Spartans. That's
unfortunately
boiled down to this. It's like a firm figure of people who would go and, excuse my parallel, it's like Bolsheviks, you know. There's already very few people who are ready to do things to protect their ideas. Those ideas could be bad, like it was in the case of Bolsheviks, and they could be good. You can take founding fathers. There are not too many of them who signed the Declaration of Independence. Still, like, you know, it worked. 250 years so far. We're teetering on the brink of extinction. We are still the best.
I'll tell you something.
Some good idea.
I'll tell you what I love the most about America. 250 years old. 250 years we've been getting better and better and better and better. We've never been perfect, and we've always tried to be improved. And trying to be good is being good. And I love that about America, and I see that here.
Yeah, that's correct. Америка все эти годы никогда не была идеальной страной, но она всегда старалась быть идеальной страной. How they say it in search of a perfect union, a more perfect
in search of a more perfect union.
Yeah, that's the thing, but
чим швидше, тим краще. Чи не так?
No, but also there's the thing that is, you know, people come for seeing the results, you know, the big houses, the big cars, beautiful men, beautiful ladies, that, you know, fine things, big movies. But when they come, some of those who look around, they learn to enjoy the process. The process actually is quite enjoyable, despite all the imperfections of the judicial system and the crime and the areas and discomfort. If your neighbor plays his trumpet too loud and another neighbor is smoking too much pot, you know, 25 hours a day, still there's something that keeps us going, and we don't stop.
Up, up, up. Never stop that struggle. That's what I love about America, and that's what I see here.
Kevin, I want to keep this conversation forever. Are you against it?
I am not against it. We will have it again. We will have
Listen,
it again.
yes.
So nice
Friends,
to talk to you.
Kevin, same. Absolutely the same. I'm talking to you all the time, but sometimes we do it face to face.
Sometimes
But the
face to face.
conversation is permanent. It's constant.
I always think that you know something about me that no one knows. You know, what am I reading today? No one else knows that.
Kevin,
it's very personal. It's a very intimate thing, actually.
Kevin, we love you here, and stay well, stay safe, and we'll keep doing our thing as long as we can.
Slava
And maybe a little more,
God
a little longer
bless
than that.
America.
God bless America. God bless Ukraine. God bless Israel. There's all our hearts.
Yes. Am Yisrael Chai in
I'm Yisrael
Ashkenazi.
Chai.
Bye-bye.